The Terrible Simpsons predictions for 2025. What if a cartoon could predict the future? For over 3 decades, The Simpsons has done just that, astonishing fans with eerily accurate predictions about technological breakthroughs, political shakeups, and even global disasters. From foreseeing Donald Trump's presidency to hinting at revolutionary tech advancements, this beloved show has built a reputation as a comedic yet strangely prophetic lens into the future. But what lies ahead? As we approach 2025, some of these predictions take a darker turn. Shocking, unsettling, and disturbingly plausible. Buckle up, because these top 10 terrifying Simpsons predictions might hit closer to home than you'd think. Let's dive in. Number 10. The collapse of big tech companies. In a memorable Simpsons episode, Springfield becomes a dystopian wasteland after a fictional tech giant collapses, taking the economy down with it. While the plot seemed exaggerated, it now feels uncomfortably close to reality. Big tech companies like Meta, Google, and Amazon dominate the digital world, but cracks are beginning to show. Mismanagement scandals, monopolistic practices, and rising concerns over data privacy have placed them under intense scrutiny. Governments worldwide are imposing stricter regulations on AI, data collection, and online monopolies. These regulations could force significant operational changes, threatening the dominance of these tech giants. Take the Cambridge Analytica scandal as a real-world example. It shook Facebook, now Meta, to its core, triggering lawsuits and regulatory probes. Combine this with increasing layoffs, cybersecurity threats, and public backlash against invasive technologies, and you have a recipe for potential disaster. If a major player were to collapse, the ripple effect could be catastrophic. With economies intertwined with big tech's success, global instability could follow, stock markets crashing, jobs lost, and digital infrastructures crumbling. What was once a cartoon exaggeration now feels like a chilling prophecy. Could 2025 be the year we witness the downfall of these tech titans? Only time will tell. Number 9. Rise of AI overlords. Remember that Simpsons episode where AI takes over Springfield, turning the town into a dystopian nightmare? Yeah, it felt like wild sci-fi at the time, but look around now. AI is everywhere, and it's getting smarter by the day. We've got AI like ChatGPT writing essays, Midjourney creating artwork, and robots doing jobs humans used to handle. Sounds cool, right? But here's the scary part. Experts are starting to sound the alarm. They're warning that if AI keeps growing unchecked, it could do more than just replace jobs. It might start making decisions for us. Imagine AI running industries, controlling economies, or even influencing governments. And let's not forget the ethical issues. Deepfakes are making it hard to tell what's real anymore. Biased algorithms are creating unfair systems, and some countries are already testing AI-powered weapons. It's like we're speeding toward a future where humans might not be the ones in charge anymore. Could 2025 be the year AI crosses the line from helpful tool to something more sinister? The Simpsons might have been onto something. Let's just hope this prediction stays in the realm of fiction. Number 8. Food shortages and synthetic foods. Ever seen that Simpsons episode where natural resources run out and everyone's stuck eating weird synthetic food? At the time, it seemed like another wild exaggeration, but fast forward to today, and this might not be so far off. Climate change is wreaking havoc on agriculture. Rising temperatures, droughts, and extreme weather are making it harder to grow crops. Add overpopulation and global supply chain disruptions, and we've got a recipe for food shortages. Some scientists warn that traditional farming might not keep up with demand. And the solutions? Lab-grown meat and plant-based alternatives. Lab-grown meat is already hitting grocery shelves, and companies like Beyond Meat and Impossible Foods are booming. These innovations promise a more sustainable future, but let's be real. It's not the same as a juicy steak or fresh veggies. By 2025, could we see synthetic foods becoming the new normal? It's a chilling thought. A world where natural ingredients are rare luxuries and meals come from labs instead of farms. While The Simpsons gave us a laugh, the reality of this prediction could leave a bad taste in our mouths. Let's hope we find a better balance before this becomes our future. Number 7. A global financial crisis. In one unforgettable Simpsons episode, Springfield spirals into chaos after a massive stock market crash causes global economic turmoil. It seemed like over-the-top satire back then, but could this be a warning for what's coming in 2025? Right now, economists are sounding alarms about a possible global recession. Inflation is rising, debt levels are soaring, and many countries are struggling to recover from the financial strain of recent years. Some experts even compare today's financial climate to the period leading up to the 2008 crash. Think about it: tech layoffs, housing markets teetering, and skyrocketing prices for everyday goods. These are patterns we've seen before, and they've led to disastrous consequences. If one major economy falters, the ripple effects could trigger a global financial crisis. The Simpsons might have exaggerated for laughs, but their depiction of economic collapse feels eerily relevant. A crash like this would affect everything: jobs, savings, and even access to basic necessities. Could 2025 be the year history repeats itself? Let's hope this is one prediction we can avoid. Number 6. Extreme weather events. If you've watched The Simpsons, you know the show has a knack for predicting extreme weather. Everything from massive hurricanes to deadly heat waves tearing through Springfield. While these episodes were once exaggerated for comedic effect, today they're beginning to feel eerily on point. Global warming and rising sea levels are fueling more frequent and severe natural disasters. In recent years, we've witnessed record-breaking wildfires, intense hurricanes, and devastating floods around the world. In fact, 2023 saw over 1,300 weather-related disasters, according to the World Meteorological Organization, causing billions in damages. These events are becoming stronger and more unpredictable, a trend that's expected to continue. The Simpsons made predictions like these decades ago, but now, as climate change accelerates, it's no longer just fictional. The summer of 2023 was one of the hottest on record, with heat waves sweeping across Europe, North America, and Asia, causing wildfires and crop failures. Could 2025 be the year we face even more catastrophic weather events? If these patterns hold true, The Simpsons might be warning us of what's to come, a future where extreme weather becomes the norm, not the exception. It's a frightening thought, but one we might have to brace for. Number 5. Space tourism gone wrong. In a particularly wild Simpsons episode, Springfield's residents sign up for a commercial space trip, only for it to end in disaster. While the show used this for comedic effect, real-world space tourism is taking off, literally, and the stakes are much higher than we might think. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Virgin Galactic are leading the charge into commercial space travel, offering wealthy tourists the chance to experience a few minutes of weightlessness. These ventures have been hailed as the next big thing in luxury travel. But what happens if something goes wrong? A mission failure, a technical issue, or even a miscalculation could lead to catastrophic consequences, as we've already seen with the tragic accidents of past space missions. Space tourism isn't just a thrilling adventure. It comes with serious risks. The safety protocols for these private missions are still in development, and many experts worry that unforeseen technical failures could lead to deadly consequences. On top of that, the environmental impact of frequent rocket launches is a growing concern, especially with regards to carbon emissions. Could 2025 be the year that space tourism faces a major disaster? While the Simpsons episode was over the top, the reality is that space travel is risky, and if anything goes wrong, it could be catastrophic. Number 4. Political instability in the US. In multiple Simpsons episodes, we've seen the country plunge into political chaos, often led by rogue or unstable leaders. From corrupt politicians to a chaotic election process, these plots once seemed exaggerated. But with today's increasingly polarized political climate, they're starting to feel more like predictions than jokes. Recent events, including the controversial 2020 election, ongoing political gridlock, and increasing distrust in the political system, show a country more divided than ever. The rise of extremist views on both sides, along with the spread of misinformation, has led to calls for reform, but little concrete action. With 2024 elections on the horizon, The uncertainty around leadership, voter rights, and election integrity could continue to stir unrest. The Simpsons has long warned of a potential breakdown in the U.S. political system, and if the growing divisions continue, we may see similar instability in 2025. Could we face contested elections, civil unrest, or even an authoritarian shift? As we move further into this polarized era, the possibility of unprecedented political upheaval doesn't seem so far-fetched. Could The Simpsons have foreseen this collapse of democracy? It's a chilling thought, but the signs are there. 2025 might just be the year the chaos hits the fan. Number 3. Breakthrough in time travel. Remember that wild Simpsons episode where Homer messes with time, creating a series of hilarious and disastrous paradoxes? While it was all in good fun, real-world scientists are starting to take time travel theories seriously, especially with advancements in quantum mechanics. In recent years, physicists have been exploring the concept of time travel through theories like wormholes and quantum entanglement. Some believe that we could one day manipulate space-time in ways that allow us to travel backward or forward in time. Though this idea sounds like science fiction, breakthroughs in quantum computing and particle physics are edging us closer to understanding how it could be possible. But with great power comes great risk. Imagine the ethical dilemmas of time travel. Could altering the past cause irreparable damage to the future? What happens if someone uses time travel for personal gain or worse, to change key historical events? The consequences could be disastrous. So, could 2025 be the year we crack the code to time travel? While it's a tantalizing possibility, it's also a scary one. The Simpsons might have been onto something by suggesting that tampering with time isn't all it's cracked up to be, and the risks could far outweigh the rewards. Number 2. Outbreak of a global health crisis. The Simpsons has always been quick to predict the unthinkable, and one of their eeriest predictions was a global health crisis, closely mirroring the COVID-19 pandemic. In the episode Margin Chains, a virus from Asia sweeps across the world, causing chaos and widespread panic. Exactly what happened during the early days of COVID-19. Looking at the real world, the threat of another global health crisis is not far-fetched. Antibiotic resistance is growing, with some superbugs becoming nearly impossible to treat. Emerging diseases like monkeypox, avian flu, and even new strains of COVID continue to make headlines, and health experts warn that it's not a question of if, but when the next pandemic could hit. The global interconnectedness we've developed makes it easier for diseases to spread across borders faster than ever before. In addition, climate change and habitat destruction are bringing humans into closer contact with wildlife, which could lead to the emergence of new zoonotic diseases. So, is 2025 the year we face another global health crisis? Given the rising number of threats, it seems like The Simpsons might be onto something. Another viral outbreak could be right around the corner. Number 1. A devastating world war. In one of The Simpsons' most chilling episodes, the world is plunged into a massive global conflict with devastating consequences. While the show often portrays this through humor, the reality of global warfare is anything but funny. As tensions rise worldwide, the prediction of a devastating world war might be closer than we think. Currently, we are seeing simmering geopolitical tensions that could easily escalate into something much more catastrophic. The ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine is one example of how a regional war can have far-reaching implications, especially with NATO involvement. Similarly, tensions in the South China Sea, the Middle East, and even within the US-China relationship have created a precarious global situation. These conflicts have the potential to spill over, dragging more nations into a wider, more devastating war. The rise of nuclear weapons, combined with economic sanctions, military buildups, and shifting alliances, adds another layer of complexity. Countries are more armed than ever before, and the risk of miscalculation or aggression leading to war is a real concern. With nuclear weapons still in the arsenals of major powers, the possibility of these being used is a terrifying thought. Could 2025 be the year we witness a full-scale global conflict? If these trends continue unchecked, it's a very real possibility. However, there's hope. Diplomatic efforts, international cooperation, and a shared commitment to peace could still prevent this worst-case scenario. As we move forward, it's crucial that world leaders prioritize diplomacy and conflict resolution to avoid the destruction that The Simpsons might have been warning us about. And there you have it. The Simpsons has certainly predicted some chilling events that could come to pass in 2025. Which of these predictions seems the most plausible or unsettling to you? While these predictions are alarming, they also serve as a reminder to stay informed, prepare for challenges, and work towards a better future. Let's hope that with awareness and action, we can avoid some of these darker paths. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more thought-provoking content.